My beautiful Sagittarius. How is everyone? Good, I hope. Feeling much better with the weather changing, hopefully. We're going to pull a reading today on the full moon in Libra, aka the pink full moon. I think it's also called the Paschal full moon. And this full moon is all about balance and harmony. It's all about relationships. It's all about, and for you, it's in your 11th house. So it is about friendships, your future goals. But it's also making sure that your inner alignment matches your outer life. So, do the relationships that you have right now, are they aligned, with where you're going? And the best thing that you can do, Sagittarius, to harness this full moon energy would be to think about your top 3 connections, whether they're friendships, they're relationships, what have you, your top 3 connections, and ask yourself, do these relationships exhaust me or expand me? And, whatever you come up with, you can probably figure it out from there. Because if we want, to move forward in our highest path, we have to make sure that the relationships that we're giving energy to are in alignment with that. So this full moon is definitely going to illuminate any, connections that are not, serving you anymore. So just know that, the next few days, this energy runs from the full moon in Libra is the 1st, April 1st in the Northern Hemisphere, April 2nd in the Southern Hemisphere, but it runs through the 17th or 18th of April. So these energies, they're a few weeks. So just try to, because with full moons, everything's heightened anyway. Emotions, people are explosive, dramatic. It's just what full moons do. So just make sure that you're responding and not reacting. Easier said than done. If something is really getting under your skin, stop and ask yourself, is it really that big of a deal, or am I emotionally making it a bigger deal than it needs to be? It's all about balance and harmony. Who doesn't want that? I know. There we go. Thank you. Okay. So, well, let's take a look. See, Sag. Well, what in your life is calling for balance came up as the Knight of Cups. And that's definitely relationships. So not only, I already told you it was in your 11th house, which is your friendships, but here we have the Knight of Cups. It's all about, your romantic relationships. So you might want to ask yourself, are those in balance? And you might need to release control. And you're really good with your boundaries. Because you're, where you thrive and what your gifts or natural abilities are, came up as the 7 of Wands, which is boundaries. She's in her peaceful place. If you can see even though all these wands are coming at her, she's like, I'm good. Like doesn't let anything interrupt her, or break her zen, so to speak. And that's what you're good at. So that's what's going to help you bring balance to your relationships. Is standing your ground, not budging. It won't be, you're very good at making it clear where you're coming from, how you feel, or where you stand in the relationship, what it is that you expect out of the relationship, what it is that you expect from that person. Relationships need to be give and take. So if you feel like you're giving more to a relationship than you're getting back, pull back and see what happens. Because then what was this? An action to take to help you create balance in your relationships came up as the Two of Pentacles, another card about balance. But this is balancing the, two sides of the same, the same coin. So it's like, the good and the bad in a relationship. No relationship's all perfect. No relationships, well, hopefully isn't all crap, but, how are you balancing your good days and your, if you guys have great nights or arguments or disagreements, how are you balancing that out? And if you can make sure that, you are expressing yourself as well as giving your partner the space to express themselves, that's a nice equal balance. And, but what you need to release was the Emperor, and that's like structured, like, so maybe in your relationship, you like it to go a certain way. And this is saying maybe loosen the, reins on your, itinerary, so to speak. I know that we all have a kind of a way we like to be in relationships, or a way we'd like things to go, but maybe leave a little room for spontaneity, and I say that because your message from your spirit team came up as the Page of Wands, and that's all about adventure. It's all about, that passion again. And so I think if you can be a little more spontaneous, a little less rigid, Sagittarius, and be more spontaneous, it'll bring the passion back to your relationship. And you don't, if you're single, maybe this is the passion back to the relationship you have with yourself. Because if you're too structured on yourself and not being a little more spontaneous, that could be why you are, why you're still single. Either way, whether in a relationship or not, it's basically saying be more spontaneous, stand your ground, but maybe release a little bit of the way you think it has to go. Give things a shot, give other people a chance to show you what they think is fun. And even if you're like, no, I'm not into that, give it a try. You might find out like, oh my gosh, that was a blast, or what have you. But overall, you're looking pretty good, Sagittarius. And if you can just maybe release the control factor a little bit in your relationship, and if you're not the one that you feel is the control that is stifling, maybe talk to them about their control, because this is all about balance, honest communication, taking relationships to the next level, or releasing ones that don't serve us. So, it's just time to get real, because this full moon is going to bring it all out, whether we like it or not. Make sure that, we're inner aligned with our outer life. So we're going to pull you a moon card, and there she went. It looks like you want too, because she's flipping over too. A time for healing. Yeah. Sagittarius, a time for healing. And you got a time to give rather than take. See? And that could have a lot to do, with this Emperor as well. And not only, as far as trying new things, or, letting them pick, what to do Saturday night or whatever. Not only pay attention to that, but also your giving and taking. If you're giving too much, pull back. If you're taking too much, give back. It needs to be a nice flow, a nice balance, and everything will be beautiful because all your cards are great. I love it. And we'll just pull you one last oracle card for spiritual guidance. And that's it, Sagittarius. I hope you have a beautiful month. And this, again, like I said, lasts until the 17th in the Northern Hemisphere, 18th in the Southern, okay? One message, please, for Sagittarius. Pink full moon, please. Just one message for... There she is. Everything turns to light. You work to improve yourself, embrace all that life brings to you, and transform darkness into light. You allow yourself to grow and become stronger. Aw, I love it, Sagittarius. That's what I have for you. I hope this helps, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye.